Extreme Rules. Extreme Rules Horror Show. Wrestling fans, was this pay-per-view that good to you? Was it worth watching tonight? Did it constitute horror show to you? To me, it was okay. It was an okay pay-per-view, but it did not constitute horror show by any sense of imagination. You know, guys, when we look at this pay-per-view, we see two matches that really constitutes extreme. And even one of them was kind of watered down a little bit. And that was Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio. And I'm going to dive into everything about this pay-per-view right here today on the podcast. But before I do that, everybody knows what to do. And that's become a subscriber today. Make sure you do that and make sure you hit that bell for all notifications. Follow me on Twitter at 2007Webby. That's not all. Go back and watch anything you missed. Backyard Beatdown content, volumes 1 and 2, and my preview and predictions and reviews of Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, all that kind of good stuff. You won't regret it, wrestling fans. Now let's dive into Extreme Rules. First things first, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship was on the line as the New Day defended against Cesaro and Sheamus. We have new tag team champions in the WWE over on SmackDown. I, for one, was very pleased about this. I, for one, am glad they didn't wait till SummerSlam. Some people might have thought it would look better if they would have waited till SummerSlam. I really didn't care because, quite frankly, nobody's in the audience and nobody's going to be in the audience come SummerSlam, outside the wrestlers they have out there. So, who cares? And WWE has a tendency of doing this anyway. And we all know that this is just transitioning them back to the New Day so they can hold it the most times ever in wrestling. Right, wrestling fans? Now, decent matchup? It was decent. Kofi Kingston gets put through 2 tables from the top rope. So, pretty good, but I just hope Nakamura and Cesaro has a decent title reign in the WWE. Let's move on to the 2 women's championship matches. Bayley and Nikki Cross. Now, with how this match ended, I hope we see still the rivalry continue. Bayley using the boss Nux. I hope we see it continue to SummerSlam. I want to see a meaner, evil side of Nikki Cross come out, kind of the way she was when she first came to the main roster. She can still be with Alexa Bliss and have that type of character in the WWE. But knowing WWE, they'll probably end this rivalry and go back to something else, or give the rivalry to probably Naomi or someone like that. I think they should keep it with Nikki Cross, at least for 1 more month. Give us something that doesn't end after just 1 pay-per-view. That's how I like things. Drag rivalries out for more than just 1 month. Y'all let me know what you're thinking about that in the comments below. As far as Asuka versus Sasha Banks is concerned, clearly this is going to SummerSlam, and it was a cluster of a finish of a matchup. Bayley and Asuka and Sasha Banks all getting involved, getting the referee hurt and his eyes getting green misted and everything, and then the title hitting Asuka, and then Bayley putting the referee shirt on, and then 1, 2, 3 and all that jazz. Sasha Banks new Raw Women's Champion, kind of, going straight to SummerSlam, where Asuka will win the title back. WWE needs to give us Bayley versus Sasha Banks pretty soon. I would love to see that over on SmackDown. Now, let's move on, shall we, to Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt. Clearly, this is going towards the Fiend versus Braun Strowman. Good contest. Really good matchup. I honestly would have liked to see the first character of Bray Wyatt beat Braun Strowman tonight and become the new WWE champion. That's what I would have loved to see. Having this matchup as a title matchup. It wasn't. I was disappointed. But, you can't please every wrestling fan out there. Y'all let me know what you're thinking about that in the comments below. The Fiend pops up at the end of this matchup. Wrestling fans, should be a good contest come SummerSlam, where we will see Bray Wyatt become the new WWE champion. The one thing I'm wondering is, where does Otis fit in all this? Where does he fit in all this with his Money in the Bank contract? Is he cashing in on the Fiend, maybe? Seems how he's playing this, I hate to say it, dumb character. Yeah. Where does he fit in all of it? Does he cash it in on the Fiend and then lose? We'll have to wait and see how all that works come SummerSlam. We haven't seen him on TV really, so who knows what will happen. Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio. One match I was happy with and I was disappointed at the same time. I know this is a PG era, and I know that they don't show blood all that much and all that kind of good stuff. But you showed blood on USA, and you didn't on the WWE Network. Does that make a lot of sense? To me, no. You have a rip your eye from your eye socket match. That's pretty much what this was. An eye for an eye. Well, I get that you have Rey Mysterio lose because he has a mask and that can cover all that stuff up. But don't you think that if you showed blood on USA, you should show some blood on the WWE Network in this style of match? It was a good contest, but that part of it didn't make any sense to me. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Where does Seth Rollins go from here? I mean, honestly, I would have loved to see Dominic turn his back on Rey Mysterio in this matchup and join Seth Rollins. But we didn't see that, wrestling fans. We just saw clean finish. I was surprised about it. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. And other than that, not a lot happened. Really. Seriously. I told you I was going to get to the point where I was only going to talk about the big stuff. And quite frankly, not a lot happened. Dolph Ziggler taking on Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. We all knew Drew McIntyre was going to win, and it was an Extreme Rules matchup. Extreme Rules in favor of Dolph Ziggler. Drew McIntyre didn't have any of those in his hands, and if he got DQ'd, he would lose the title. Whoop-de-doo. Now it's time for him to go to SummerSlam and drop the WWE title to Randy Orton. We all know that's where this is headed because of the Edge-Randy Orton rivalry, where Edge will become the WWE champion and hold it to WrestleMania. We all know that's where this is headed. Okay, title reign for Drew McIntyre. That was pretty much your Extreme Rules. An okay show. That's what it was. It was just an okay show. If I would tell you to go back and watch any of the matches, go back and watch the Eye for an Eye match and go back and watch the Swamp matchup. WWE did a good job in not making this last 3-4 hours long. And I don't know where Apollo Crews is, but I can tell you this. Whenever he comes back, please put the title on somebody that's going to be on TV for a lengthy time. Okay? And not going to be off TV. Alright? Because we need to see the United States Championship on TV. And it doesn't need to be MVP. I do know that. So please have it be on Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, Bobby Lashley. I don't know. Now, I've been saying that somebody's going to take it back to the MVP lounge, but it doesn't need to be MVP taking it back to the MVP lounge. Somebody else. And that's my thoughts on Extreme Rules. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, leave me a thumbs up and all that good stuff I mentioned at the beginning. And until I see you again, this is Webby, and I'll catch each and every single one of you on the other side. Talk to you later.